Hello, I'm Todd Hagenboo with ArborChem Products. Today I'm going to talk about mixing up a high volume foliar tank mix. Some of the most common things that we forget about when we're getting ready to do this is drift control. So the very first thing once I start my tank up and I have it circulating, I want to make sure I either have sparge agitation or mechanical agitation in the tank, and I also use the handgun spraying back into the tank. I want to start with a drift control agent in my tank. I don't care if it's 2 to 3 miles an hour at this time of day at 8 o'clock in the morning, but by 11 o'clock we might have 8 or 10 miles an hour. We're definitely going to need that drift control at that point. So we better have it in the tank now to compensate for that later. If you're using our 41A drift control, this is a dry formulation. This goes in at 2 to 6 ounces per 100 gallons. This must go in the tank first if you're utilizing this drift control. If you're using control from Garco, this can go in the tank first or last. I would generally put it in first, get it into solution, and then I add my other products. Today we're going to use a combination of Method Polaris and Escort XP. So the first thing that's going to go in the tank today for us is going to be the Escort XP. Why is that? Because it's a dry formulation. So when we're putting our herbicides in the tank, the dry product always goes in the tank first. After that, once I've got that into circulation, I'll then add my Method to the mix, make sure that that's in good circulation. In this case, we're using 1.5 ounces of Escort per 100 gallons, 12 ounces of Method, and I believe 16 ounces of Polaris per 100 gallons. And then the very last thing we're going to add to the tank is our surfactant. In this case, we're using Clean Cut from ArborChem. Clean Cut is a very good surfactant that has sticking agent as well as a non-ionic surfactant as well, and that allows us to penetrate that leaf and allows that herbicide mixture to adhere to the leaf. It is a non-phyto blend, so it does not burn the foliage before the herbicide has a chance to work in the plant. Other than that, make sure all your hose connections are in good working order before you add any of these materials to the tank. Make sure that you have a plan. A site evaluation was done of the site to make sure there's no surface water around. In this case, we do have some properties that abut the right-of-way here, so we're going to use extreme caution when we get over on the edge of the right-of-way to make sure that we're spraying either parallel or spraying back onto the right-of-way so there's no damage on personal property. Thank you very much. The next installment will actually be doing the high volume spraying. Hello, Todd Hagenboo again with ArborChem Products. I'm going to show you how to do proper high volume foliage applications on a utility right-of-way. When you're out here and we're trying to make an effective application, you have to have a pattern in which you go about attacking the brush. If you just go willy-nilly throughout the right-of-way with no particular pattern, you're going to miss some brush. There's just no way around it. We utilize a pattern called the H pattern, which allows me to go from possibly a center line on the right-of-way and work my way perpendicular to the right-of-way to the edge while spraying parallel with the right-of-way at all times. Once I get to the edge of the right-of-way, I'll work my way back on the same line I went in. So in essence, I'd be spraying my brush on this side going in, and then as I'm working my way back, I'm spraying all this brush going out. In this case, I have no brush behind me here, so I'm going to start going in this way. I'm not going to spray my way back out. I'll just move down, continue my H pattern, and come in. So I will demonstrate how that works and show you what goes on. The other thing that you want to be cognizant of when you're doing this is always the right-of-way edges. Do not shoot off the right-of-way edge. Make sure you're parallel on the edges. When you have soil active chemistries, like today we have Method in here and Polaris, and make sure we know the right-of-way species that are on the edge. If we have a lot of brush density over there and we have white pine trees on the edge, we certainly want to be careful with Method. If we have a lot of oak and maple on the edge and we load up on our chemical on the edge, there's potential to cause issues. So we want to make sure we know what chemistries are in the tank and what potentially could happen if we put them on the edge of the right-of-way. So I'm going to start right here, demonstrating the coverage
You want to make sure you get full coverage on both sides of these plants. Terminal buds all the way down to the base. So spray over the top of them, come down and rain it all in and get it underneath. Then you move down. With chemistry like this, it doesn't hurt to hit the stem. That helps activate some of it. A lot of poison hemlock in here, which I'm not going to treat. It'll be compatible right away species. Although it be a weed, it's really not going to pose a problem for us. I'm going to make sure I get all the way to the edges right away. Here's a stake marking the edges right away. I've got one walnut here I'm going to hit. And I'm actually going to bite off a little more here. So when I come back in, I'll get the back side of all this here. Underneath this grapevine is some calorie pear hiding, so I got to make sure I get that. The grapevine has to die along with it, of course. I'm going to hit the back side of these while I'm here.